Shady Oak Beach was built in 1943 and 44 by the Lions Club, and to get the land was acquired. I think one part of it was acquired for $1 from somebody who owned it, and the other was about maybe $500 to get the land that you see there. Now it had a railroad spur that had gone through there. That's where that little channel that you see, that small channel in that, because a railroad car that went down to the end of the lake to pick up ice that was taken out in the winter. But to get the sand for the beach, they poured sand all over that area in the wintertime, and then when spring came, the sand made the beach. Now, a lot of the early shrubbery and everything were done by Hopkins people, including, there were bank presidents and everybody participated in that mission. The beach was completed right around in 44. The Lions Club had the major organization of doing that beach. Now, when the beach was complete for that day, one of the things that happened, you had a rope out there to show you how far to go, and a boat for the lifeguard. Shortly after that, somebody stole the rope, because rope was hard to get in World War II, and they stole the rope, and they stole the boat. So they had to replace both of those, and it wasn't easy to replace the rope because that was in an area that was sort of rationed because everything was going to the war effort. And so they did that. Now, nowadays, of course, the beach is much, much improved. But the Lions Club then went to the city council and says, here's the papers, the beach is all paid for, it's done, it's yours. Somebody on the city council said, do we need a beach? And so it ended up on the ballot in November of 44 as to whether Hopkins should accept the beach. And it passed, I don't remember exact numbers, but it was say like about 1,100 to 300 who said don't take it, and 1,100, so Hopkins then accepted the beach. And the Lions Club won an award from their parent organization for that effort for those years.
I understand there is a train engine in Shady Oak Lake and a scraper, some kind of a...
Well, there's the train engine itself, I think, is in Mud Lake. See, the tracks that run along the north side of Shady Oak, if you go farther west, there's Mud Lake. And and there have been some people who've probed for it and haven't found it. Now, on Shady Oak Lake, if you, the way that the railroad track was made, this sort of peninsulas that you see with the thing through, that was never there in the original Shady Oak Lake. If you were to stand there and look towards Hopkins, you see a big V cut where the railroad tracks came through. All that dirt that was in the V cut is what made that. But now there, what they did is they would dump dirt into some rail cars, run them out to the end of the rail and dump. Go back, fill them, run them out to the end of the rail and dump. And that's how that got built. One night, they ran some cars out, and the guys must have said, well, it's quitting time. So they left the loaded cars on that trestle. In the morning, when they came, there were no cars. They had all they were so heavy that it broke and they all fell into the lake, so they are buried underneath that. Now then they were doing something, fixing Shady Oak Road along the east side, and a Caterpillar bulldozer got into the soft marsh right on the edge of the lake and sank. And they tried many ways to get it out. One of the men who was a policeman was also a scuba diver, went down underneath and they put cables underneath, but I don't know if we've ever had the experience of wearing loose-fitting overshoes and you walk through mud, you pick your foot up and the suction of the mud keeps the overshoe right there. You just can't pull it up. Well, there's just so much suction. They never were able to break the suction of that thing. So that caterpillar, as far as I know, is sinking deeper and deeper into that land that's on the east side of Shady Oak Lake.
In those days, there was never any refrigerators. You had ice boxes, so when the people had to have blocks of ice to put in their ice box to cool things off, in the refrigerator or refrigerator. And our grandfather, my father's father, invented the machine to go out to Shady Oak and actually cut the ice in blocks. It could 40 pounds or 50 pounds. And then when the crop cramers would get the ice, they would go from house to house, and the people that wanted the ice that day, they would put a sign outside in their window, either 40 or 50, whatever size they wanted. And the man would carry it in with tongs over their back, and it's a big heavy. And so, yeah, our grandfather invented that machine.